US fugitive working as a porn actor arrested in Bali. Marcus Beam, who was accused of misappropriating $500,000 from investors, was arrested with his American girlfriend in Badung. He's been making and selling sex videos to support his living expenses in Bali. And there's a picture of Marcus. But I've got a little bit of news about this guy that hasn't been reported yet. So stay tuned.
Mr. Steve!
Mr. Steve!
Okay, before we start, let's have a quick look at the COVID situation. And as you can see from the graph here, the growth is still too high. It's, as of last report, just under 3,000 confirmed. It says here 44 fatalities, but there's actually been 48 now. And, here we go, it's 3,114 confirmed cases. The good news is active cases is reduced by 30. And if you can look at 2,500 almost have recovered. So again, the death rate is not that high compared to what a lot of people have been saying. But this graph just shows you it's on the wrong direction. And if you go back to the first, right at the start of July, which is right about here, there was only 16 fatalities, so that's tripled in 1 month. And the cases have almost doubled in this last month, so that's not a great result for July. And bearing in mind at the end of July, borders will be opening for local tourism in Indonesia and in Bali. So fingers crossed that gets a little bit better. Selamat pagi everybody, and today's main story is about this fine gentleman. This gentleman is called Marcus Beam. Now back in January, in Chicago, Illinois, his home city, he was arrested for defrauding women out of $500,000 US. Now that's $500,000 accounted for. Whether he did more, we don't know. But he was granted bail, and he immediately left the country using a false passport and escaped to Bali, where in the last few months he has moved several times, and according to the Balinese Police, has been making sex videos to supplement his income in Bali and helping him survive money-wise. That's not been proven, that's just alleged. Interesting fact about this man is you can see him being walked through the car park for the usual Balinese Police press conference, where they usually display them like they are here, and there he is at the back. You may have noticed that the Balinese policemen standing around him look a hell of a lot taller, which is unusual in Bali because the police aren't usually very, very tall. But so I've done a bit of research on this guy and looked at the indictment from the US Marshals in America, and he's only 5'6". So he's very short for a porn star, as some of the Balinese media are calling him. He's hardly a porn star, but he is a fraudster. And another interesting little fact is he was arrested on July the 23rd. And guess what? That was his 50th birthday. Big time to celebrate your 50th birthday. So he celebrated by getting arrested. You can see the police here displaying the evidence they found where he was living. Apparently they found sex toys and equipment for making the movies that he was doing online, supposedly, and selling these sex videos to support his income. I'm not too sure what else they've got, but they've got false passport, a false American passport, and he was using, just trying to remember the name, I can't remember, but it was the name of a rapper in America. So he was getting by on that. I don't know if he was using that name to try and con people. He is a con artist. So he won't be staying very long. He'll be held in custody until deported to the States, back to the US Marshals. Sometimes in these cases the US Marshals actually fly over to Indonesia to accompany him back, so he can face the charges back in America of defrauding all these women in Chicago. He had several companies back in Chicago, of which he was the sole CEO and director. You can see it does attract a lot of media here. So that's Marcus Bean, captured in Bali, fugitive from America. The US Marshals have been looking for him since January. So that's been another Bali news update from Mr. Steve. Hope to see you soon.
Mr. Steve!
Mr. Steve!